Comma-separated value files are used more frequently in exchanging data between computer programs, database system, or lab equipment. As its name suggests, values in each line are separated by commas or other types of delimiters or separators like semicolon or spaces. It is recommended to use the comma since it is the default delimiter. In this lesson, I'm going to use a file called cars CSV. Basically, reading data from a CSV file is similar to reading from a text file. However, CSV is different in shape. Reading a CSV file means to read each value separated by a comma individually. For this reason, Python provides us with a special module called CSV with a specialized reader function. Let's see how to read the data from the file cars.csv in simple steps. First, we should import the module. Second, we open the file for reading. Third, we use the CSV function called reader to extract all the data and connect it to reader object. We called it my data here. And the reader object actually contains all the data together, so we need to read them individually. And for that reason, we need a loop. This loop will read the data row by row. It is exactly similar to the text file, but in the text file we call them lines. That means reading line by line because we expect a line of text. Here we are calling the row. That means it is rows of data. Let's run the code. So the result shows that each row is read as a list of strings. This structure makes dealing with each value in the row much easier. Let's construct a table from this data. So let's start with the header of the table. So this is the header of the table, and I used the 6 here, the 6 values you see in the format. They are used in order to keep constant space for each title. So in this way we guarantee that each title will be in a separate column in the same distance, in addition of course to the tab special characters in between. Then we want to format the print. So we print every item read from the file with the width of 6. So in order to fit the width defined for each column in the table. And we added the end variable of the print with empty string, which means that each item should be printed in the same line on the screen. And we added an empty print in order to print the next line when we are going to the next row. And finally, we close the CSV file. Let's run the code and see the result. Mistake in spelling. Format. Okay. Also, this list structure of each row makes converting each value to specific type easier. Let's try it. Let's modify this file. I'm going to use with this time. So the first column, which are the car names, will not be changed because they are already strings. However, the date will be integer, the miles will be integer too, and the CC will be converted to float. Let's test the code. This may look very similar to the first run. If we go back to the top, it looks, or let me extend this first for comparison. However, notice that now we don't have quotation marks because now each one of these elements converted to the proper type. And in that way, we can use them in our programs if we are going to make any calculations related to the integer or float values.